V8, and it's got Detroit V8 muscle, which is, it goes plenty well. It goes great.
Does this cut across the market in that if you went to a Concours or a Rat Rod or a traditional or the shopping mall and somebody saw you in the parking lot, does everybody embrace this car?
Yeah, they do. This body style, I think probably more of all the Corvettes they do. And again, as you point out with the 63 and the split window, it is an attention getter. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I walked in here when we arrived, looking around, got to this car, no recognition, no, I knew nothing about. It says 200 limited edition Duntov Turbo. What do we have here?
You have a very unique car, and for me to stump you on it, Lance, that surprised me, because I can tell you know your cars and your trucks. This was a car that Zora Duntov lent his name to back in the early 80s, and the intent was to build 200 of these cars. It is obviously a convertible, so they removed the top. It has a package, a fender package, quarter and fenders of glass, so it's kind of got the IMSA look to it, wide tires and wheels, with a turbocharger and a small block engine. So this was a car that, and actually was the first time he had to go through a lot of trouble to get General Motors to allow him to do that. So this was the first time in my knowledge that they allowed someone. Today it's quite common, you see all these kind of edition cars. This was probably one of the very first, if not the first, and with Zora's name on it, it was special.
Zora Duntov, for the viewers that don't know, he was an engineer at Chevrolet, and they said, go work on this Corvette thing, and he became the god or the godfather of Corvettes, correct?
Yeah, he would be the god of Corvettes. If you follow that hobby, you definitely know who he is. And he had a lot of innovations that he put in cars that we see in regular passenger cars today. There were things that he designed. Mm-hmm.
The 63 that we just looked at, is the story true that he insisted on that split window and that rib, and everybody else didn't want to do it? They said, okay, we'll do it for 1 year, and then it goes away. Is that a true story?
Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah, who really knows what the true story is? But yeah, I've heard that one too.
Okay. Something hanging down in your upholstery. What is that?
Well, this car is quite interesting, and today people would look at it and go, wow, that's velour. Well, that's what actually Zora had done, and this was a part of the seats, and it has a velour interior in it. totally, this car is totally correct the way my father got it in 1980, right to the original tires that are on the car.
And that's just a little added back support there, or
I
or
guess
who
I'm not quite sure. It's kind of different, but it lends itself to the story of the car.
Yeah, maybe it's a hat, so if it starts raining, you always have something handy there.
There you go.
Yeah, probably not. Greg, we don't usually do anything this new. This is a 2002 Camaro, but it, like the Duntov Corvette, I'm stumped. I don't know who Dick Harrell on here. I don't know any. What do we have? Obviously, it's special.
Well, we stumped you twice today,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I felt good about that. It is a special car. 2002 was the last Camaro before it took a little hiatus until we had the 2010 that we've talked about today. And Dick Harrell was a very famous drag racer in the 60s and 70s with Chevrolet. And GMMG, who did this car, who I got it through Matt Murphy, or who was the builder of the car, but I got it through Berger Chevrolet in Grand Rapids, which is a very iconic dealership group that's been known for Chevy performance for a long time. This is quite a car. It's got 600 horsepower under the hood.
So this is all about going fast.
It is.
Is it about going fast straight ahead, or does it, go around corners good too?
It does. It has good suspension package. It has an upgrade on the brakes and on the suspension, so it does both.
If you take this to a Camaro show, does everybody get really excited, or does that crowd know what's up here?
I think they would know, absolutely they would know. You won't see very many of these. There were, I think, 32 of them built. This is number 28. So this again had somewhat like the Duntov that we just looked at, has the body package, front and rear fenders, along with lowering the car. So it's got a serious look to it. It's a performance car. It's easy to tell that.
Yeah, so 427, but it has, what'd you say, how much? What's the
Somewhere in the vicinity of 600.
vicinity.
Who really knows,
Yeah.
you know?
This is just, I don't go out and buy new cars very often, or newer cars, but this would be on my list. This is pretty special, and the numbered edition, that kind of makes it even extra special. So.
Well, and I would agree. The other thing that, to me, that one of the reasons why I did this, because I wasn't sure we were going to have a Chevy Camaro again. 2002 was the last year, as we've talked about. So in my mind, I thought, you know what, I got to get the special, the supercar of all Camaros, and make sure I have one to put away, because I'm not sure if Chevrolet's going to come back to it.
Well, we are certainly glad that we came here to see your collection. It's very hospitable of you to allow us to come through here. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Great to have you here.
Thank you, and thanks for, I get a little education here today. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
All right, and thank you very much for watching the Vintage Vehicle Show. If you weren't watching, we wouldn't have a show. So we appreciate that, and we will see you again next time. So until then, bye-bye.